Coleman Coliseum is rocking. Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for this Saturday SEC Showdown. The Gators in town to tangle with the Crimson Tide. Both teams living life on the edge in terms of postseason possibilities. Right now, Bama on the right side of the bubble, Florida on the wrong side, according to ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi. Bama right now listed as a 10 seed, Florida among the first 4 teams out of the field of 68. So with that in mind, we welcome in Jimmy Dykes. I am Roy Philpott. Great to have you with us today. And this is our favorite time of year. Bubble Watch is here. Postseason play is almost here, and away we go.
Well, Roy, you would expect both teams to play with tremendous passion, urgency, and fight today, because right now, if you're in that 10 seed or first 4 out, you realize you're 1 win from being in and 1 loss from being out. And the importance of this game today, these two teams are going to be very similar on Selection Sunday, so that head-to-head matchup is always magnified. You like the quadrant 1 and 2 wins that certainly Alabama's had. They've had 8 of them. That's why they have a 10 seed right now. This is an Alabama team that's been a little up and down, and so has Florida. What I like about Florida the last couple of weeks, they're not so dependent on their three-point shooting to get into the free throw line, and you know Florida's defense always travels. Can Alabama get to 70 points today? If they do, they got a great chance. If they don't, they're 0-6 so far this year. They have not hit the 70-point mark.
It is a battle of tempos when you think about it. Florida leads the SEC in scoring defense. Yeah. Bama wants to get out in transition, coach, and you know they want to see a higher scoring contest.
Yeah, I love what Mike White said to you and I about 90 minutes ago. He said, we have to get our defense set. And what he means by that is we can't have turnovers and play conversion defense, 15, 20 possessions in this ball game. If Florida in blue gets their half-court defense set, they're really, really good. They're tough to score against. The problem for Florida all season long, can they generate enough offense?
Points have been at a premium. Just about set, ready to go. Alabama in the home whites, Florida in the road, orange and blue. Underway in the opening tap, controlled by the Gators. Now Florida's been dealing with injuries most of the season. Keith Stone is out for the year after tearing his ACL against Georgia last month. And I want to welcome those now watching on ESPNU. Opening points of the afternoon, Andrew Nembhard connects with a mid-range jumper.
Where you see Mike White being very aggressive to start this game. Get that 2-point jump shot to fall, and they go right into their 1-2-2 press. And Florida's been so good this year. Zone press to man-to-man. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, that 1-2-2, they'll switch it up after the first pass defensively. Nembhard's been battling some tendonitis, but is expected to be at full strength. First shot for the Tide is off the mark. Starting 5 for the Tide here at home. Kira Lewis Jr., the second youngest player playing major college basketball this year. Reclassified, just 17 years old, but he has been dynamic in his first season here in T-Town. Kayvon Allen somehow gets it back and turns it over.
And Herb Jones got popped in the nose. He's at the other end. Alabama playing 4-on-5.
Lewis off the mark.
Florida has struggled to score all season long. Noah Locke, number 10 in blue, can flat out shoot it. I thought they would stop because Herb really got stuck now. I'm not so sure he's not dazed a little bit. It wasn't an injury that called for immediate stoppage of the game by the officials, but now that they've gotten back into the half-court flow and there's no scoring threat, I think Herb says, you know what, I've been shook up here. Watch your eye. There, was it a hand that got him, a reach-in hand, or an elbow that grazed across his forehead? But a tough kid.
Yeah, leads the team in charges taken this year. Jimmy was 17, so you know he's a physical player.
Sure he is. That doesn't score well, but he changes the team in a lot of areas when he's on the floor. Alabama doing a nice job early of denying any guard-to-guard pass by Florida. And that pass is important to deny. It triggers a lot of Florida's half-court offense.
4 to shoot. And right off the leg of Noah Locke. He's also been battling injuries, groin issues, hamstring. Expected to have some of that cleaned up after this season, but he's gritting this one out as well. And he's got to, really. You think about it, Florida's on the bubble like we talked about.
Absolutely. He's see what Alabama's going to do to Locke. They're going to put him in drive mode this entire ball game. It's a really good defensive team in blue. They press, they press back to zone, they press back to man, good communication.
Tevin Mack too strong, still 2-0, 2.5 minutes in. So if you're a team that struggles to score, what do you do to try to get your offense going?
Well, you score in transition like Florida's doing. You get aggressive because you don't want to grind away in the half court. And you drive the ball. And Florida's done a good job of that, Roy, the last couple of ball games, getting to that free throw line. They need to get there 20, 23 times today.
Gators coming off a win against Vanderbilt at home. Alabama lost at Mississippi State. Struggle with turnovers. Johnson in traffic. And the rebound claimed by Norris.
When Alabama's at their best before that Florida defense gets set.
And that's really got to be a key for the Tide today, is to be able to score in transition. Steal for Nembhard. And the finish.
Wasn't that a nice under control finish by Nembhard? Because had he just gone full blazes with a burst of speed, Riley Norris actually would have been there in a better position and kind of let Norris go in front of him. He's a super smart kid for a freshman point guard.
3+ minutes in, Tide still without a point. Open look for Ingram.
Gosh, he took forever and a day to get that thing off, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did.
I know he was wide open, but you want to stay in your natural, get it and shoot that ball rhythm.
Nembhard almost turned it over. Locke from the corner, and the rebound by Ingram.
And Locke now 1 out of his last 10 from the three-point line, going back to the last ball game. That's a charge.
Lewis gets the bounce, but an offensive foul, no basket.
Good job by Hayes to get outside that restricted arc. A lot of big guys will get stuck inside the arc, Roy, but Hayes does a good job of understanding the geography of the court. That's the right call. It's not easy to get a charge, especially on Kira Lewis. He has such control over his body. He doesn't play like a high school kid at all. Just terrific pace and understanding. He's been terrific, hasn't he, all season long? Kira Lewis, wow.
I think he set the conference on fire to a certain extent because he's so young. You knew he was good in high school, but you didn't know that he could respond like this.
No, not this quick and not this consistently. And he has single-handedly won 4 or 5 ball games for Alabama.
Hudson checking in, the Virginia Tech transfer. He's short. And a foul against the Gators. That'll be Hudson's first.
You know why you bring Jalen Hudson in early in this ballgame if you're Mike White? A year ago in this building, he went for 27. Get Hudson in the game early. Well done, Coach.
You're watching ESPN Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Back inside Coleman Coliseum, where the Florida Gators did something they haven't done in more than 40 years. That's beat Alabama in a gymnastics meet. And in the arena going through their transformation, getting ready for basketball today. By the way, for those that are wondering, the final score last night, Jimmy, 197.325 to 196.475. The Gators victorious here. I know you were on your edge of your seat.
I was watching. Trinity Thomas is a star in gymnastics. I believe she's on the U.S. Gymnastics national team. Phenomenal performance by Florida last night, and then the urgency and the passion of the workers to turn this building around for a basketball game. About 12 hours later altogether, and domination by Alabama in gymnastics. This league, the SEC, how many teams they have ranked in the top 25 in preseason baseball, softball, gymnastics? Man, loaded up.
They like their baseball here in the Deep South. By the way, baseball season's underway. It started yesterday.
Yeah. I'm a huge gymnastics fan. Our daughter Kennedy has a meet today in Little Rock.
Bama starts this contest 0 for its first 5, and you see, I love this graphic here. It tells you all you need to know about the conference.
That's just in the top 5. There's a lot of them ranked in the top 25 overall. Mississippi State leading that women's basketball right now. How about LSU and Florida? 2-4. Vanderbilt's ranked high in a lot of polls. Hard to get wins in this league in any sport.
Hayes inside. No whistle, but a basket.
Joe Lindsey just stared it down.
It's the 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure. Alabama probing it.
And they match up so well. I'm telling you, it's hard. In coaching, it's hard to go from a zone press quickly to man-to-man like Florida does. Now, sometimes their zone press is also, it's man-to-man. They disguise it a little bit. Man, they are really good at what they do.
Norris left open. The lid still firmly on the basket for Alabama. Hudson left open for a second. He's been playing better lately, Jimmy. They're trying to get him going. He led the team in scoring last year, but it just hasn't resonated this season.
No, it hasn't, but so far in this game, he's done more than just stand out on the three-point line. A lot of contact there. Joe Lindsey didn't feel like it's enough. Riley Norris was moving his feet. But Hudson's is a key guy. And Mike White is trusting him right now. Coming off a back-to-back double-figure games. He told us before the ball game he's had 4 or 5 good practices in a row. Every coach in this league knows 3 and blue is capable of a 20-point game.
Lewis, the runner, will shoot a pair. Avery Johnson, year number 4, made the tournament last year. And you and I were talking about it a few hours ago. This team this year in Tuscaloosa feels a lot like last year's team, which needed to win a game in the tournament, needed that win against A&M, and they got there.
It's amazing where they are today as opposed to a year ago today. Just eerily similar. But they do not have Colin Sexton, who's in the building today, to possibly bail them out at the SEC tournament like he did last year. Look at this. Their records are identical. The SEC records are identical. The top 25 is just 1 game off. And are they an NC tournament team? Well, we shall see.
Well, it's games like this that tell you yes or no, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, 5 minutes in, almost 6 minutes in, Bama finally on the scoreboard, trailing by 4.
Alabama, every time I see it, I just think, man, a lot of length on the floor. Allows them to switch 1 through 5 and really cover up gaps with long wingspans. Very difficult to throw the ball inside on Alabama.
Hudson inside. How about that?
I love his start. I know he's missed a couple of shots, but that dude's playing right now like he did last year. That was an aggressive going to his left scoring move by Hudson.
John Petty checking in for the first time for Alabama, the second leading scorer for the Tide. Lewis turns it over, and there's Hudson again with a steal. Nembhard, the finish.
I get a timeout. Yeah, that's the energy of Jalen Hudson has jumped out in this building. Mike White said, you know what, I'm going to go with him early. He's been practicing well, double-figure games, and Jalen Hudson is back in the SEC. What a start for Jalen Hudson. And I'm telling you, the scouting report on Hudson, make him go right. He's a scorer going to his left. He'll get to the rim and finish, or he'll pull up jump shots you. And Alabama disregard the scouting report, let the guy go down the left pipe. And a really good start for Jalen Hudson and the Florida Gators.
Tide start this one 0 for 6. You see Florida at 5 of 11. And for Jalen Hudson, he's trying to get out of the slump. A great way to do it with your defense, with your energy plays, and kind of get reignited.
Yeah, he's played harder than anybody else on the floor so far. That's where Mike White's got to be really pleased.
6 on the shot clock. Avery Johnson Jr. on the floor for the first time. And he lost the handle. Alabama out of sync early.
Well, Mike White's getting his defense set. They're scoring, and it's allowing them to get their zone press back to half-court defense set. And that's going to be advantage Florida all game long if that continues.
10-2, the Gators led by Nembhard, 6 points out in front on the road. Coach, we should point out, too, Florida's done this a lot this year. They play quality basketball for 20 or 30 minutes. They've given up some leads late, too.
Yeah, that time Hudson, they were forcing him right, and he said, I'm going to go ahead and go anyways into traffic. Just a bad decision by Jalen Hudson. Like his effort trying to get on the floor to recover the mistake. That was a good 3.5, 4 minutes, right, for Jalen Hudson?
Yeah.
Yeah, a good stretch for him.
He's got 2 fouls. He'll sit on Mike White's bench.
Mike White tapping him on the backside, though, and say, attaboy, that's what I need from you. How's Alabama going to score? Man, Petty's got to get loose for his shot. No Kyra Lewis on the floor to break down the defense and get guys easy ones.
Ingram inside, in and out. And the rebound by Florida's Keontae Johnson. Kayvon Allen, little stop and pop, it's all net. That's a long 2.
Terrific job by Allen to get himself back on balance because he danced with that basketball 2 or 3 dribbles.
Smith inside in the first field goal for the Tide.
Everybody gets M&Ms.
See if that yanks the lid off. 8 minutes in, it's all Gators.
Actually go 1-4 for Allen. Let him dial it up. Got a mismatch. Reese comes out on him. Doesn't come out with high hands, hot hands. Allen just measures it and lets it fly.
He's got 5. First 3 ball for either side today. Both teams on the proverbial bubble. We're in the middle of February. Inside, a dangerous pass. It'll stay with a tie.
So you think that dangerous pass when you throw it around 4 different guys surrounding the guy you're throwing it to? Good call by you. Look at Kayvon Allen. Release, rotation, and result.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN inside of Coleman Coliseum. A fast start for the Florida Gators on the road. Florida with a 15-4 advantage. Great to have you with us, Jimmy Dykes, Roy Philpott, and a little surprised about Florida's offensive efficiency so far. They've been impressive.
Well, they're playing loose, they're playing confident, you know, and Mike's done a good job of getting different guys involved. Jalen Hudson was huge now. I only played 4 minutes, he has 2 fouls, but I'm telling you what, that's the type of offensive pop they need out of Jalen Hudson, Florida does, if they're going to make a run into the NCAA tournament. And he'll, I don't know if Mike will put him back in this first half with 2 fouls. I would trust him a little bit, especially if Alabama kind of makes a little bit of a run here, because, boy, he was really engaged to start this game.
Well, we heard Avery Johnson this morning, to your point earlier, don't let Hudson go. We got to make sure we make him go right, rather. He can't go left. We've already seen him score there.
Yes, absolutely.
Last foul went against Andrew Nembhard. That's his first. They got to find a way to get number 23 going, John Petty. He's got the ability to lift that 3-point shot at any moment.
Yeah, he lives off others' penetration. There's a little bit of a misdirection for Petty. Good call by you, Roy Philpott. It wasn't dribble penetration, but it was misdirection to kind of drag the defense away from him. He has really expanded his game this year, especially in the last 3 weeks. Much more than just a 3-point shooter.
They'll work it inside out. Kayvon Allen with 5. He turns it over for the second time.
Ball just exploded out of his hands.
I'm going to be honest with you, every game I've called here, Petty goes for about 40, it feels like.
Really?
So every time I've been here, Petty seems to find the zone.
You're putting a lot of pressure on John Petty right now. Well, that's a ton of 40. That's a ton of pressure.
It feels that way. Here's a steal.
Deflection. Active hands around the ball by Florida.
That was Bassett off the bench with the steal and an air ball by DeAndre Ballard.
Ballard 30% in SEC play. There's that misdirection and swing it back to Petty, who did a good job of rising up out of the corner for that extended wing 3. Does he have 3 points now? He's just 37 off of what he's expected by you.
He's got a ways to go. And we had him last year. Auburn was in town, and then also earlier this season against Ole Miss, he was just in the zone.
Roy, Alabama has an advantage inside with size, and they have to be patient and get the ball inside. Florida's so aggressive in this game. Playing hard wins. Cool does not win in February and March.
I love that saying. Ingram comes up short. Johnson the rebound. Keontae Johnson's been a bright spot. 15 points in their win against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
That was a career high, and he just seems really active right now.
I like those freshmen. Noah Locke, Nembhard, the kid you just mentioned. That's a good building base.
Allen with the bounce.
What a hard finish by Kayvon Allen, because he had to go with a burst and then get extremely high and get the ball up high. He made a very difficult shot look easy.
Allen has 7. He's been playing his best basketball, arguably, of his career, maybe in the last month or so. He's been up and down. Galen Smith down low. He'll get a roll.
Good shot of really good defense. I mean, Bassett did all he could to throw up a high wall with high hands and just made him finish. Sometimes they drop.
Tide coming in at 15-9, 6-5 in the SEC. Florida 4-6 in the conference. Both teams on the bubble. Johnson from the corner buries it.
There's your guy. Got a great body, doesn't he, for a freshman? Keontae Johnson
really does.
And all muscled up, but a really pretty soft touch for a kid built like that.
Update on Herbert Jones, an eye injury. He is probable to return today. As Smith is fouled inside. I believe they got Bassett. Yeah, don't forget SportsCenter tonight after Gonzaga, San Diego. Bucci and Anderson, Jay Bills will join the show to break down the big showdown. Number 1 UT, number 5 UK from the Commonwealth, plus more on Ja Morant and the best from the NBA All-Star Saturday festivities down to the Queen City at SportsCenter, midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific on ESPN. Jimmy Dykes, UT UK tonight. That's going to be fun.
Well, you know, Calipari, good job by getting back open on the out-of-bounds under. You know Cal has had his guys maximum attention since losing to LSU on Tuesday night. So they're going to be dialed in, and Rupp will be hot. But I'm telling you what, Tennessee is the best team in the country. They may not win tonight, but I did the Duke-Louisville game on Tuesday night. I walked away from that game, Roy, thinking that Duke has the better individual talent at 3 spots on the floor, but Tennessee's the better team. So Calipari in Kentucky, all that urgency and fight and being hacked off because they lost to LSU, that's going to carry him for a while. At the end of the day, you're going to have to play really well if you're Kentucky tonight to beat Tennessee. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Yeah. I've seen Tennessee a bunch, and they're grown men playing basketball.
Yes, they are.
Right?
Yes, they are.
It's a different feel when UT walks in the building. Ingram. All rescues at 20 to shoot.
You cannot play any harder than what Florida's playing defensively to start this game. They are in a stance, they're bending their knees, their hands are active around the ball. They're sticking their nose right in the middle of a jersey. They are fighting everything.
Smith, the jump hook off the mark. Johnson clears.
That is tremendous. I love good ball. I don't care who wins the game. But I'm telling you what, I really love what I'm seeing out of Florida defensively in this game. A great appreciation for how hard it is for a coach in the middle of February to have his guys playing with that type of urgency on defense.
It's a grind this time of year. Allen with 7 off the mark with a triple. Well, these teams are grinding. We talk to the coaches. They're grinding. The players.
Sure. You do 8 games a week.
Johnson from downtown connects.
Now the head coach, Avery, may not want him leaving quite as quickly as he told us earlier today. He said, Coach, are you ready for Avery Jr. to go on? He said, absolutely. We've spent enough time together. This is his senior year. He needs to go on and move on. Well, sometimes you miss those jump shots when you don't have them.
That's right.
What a great father-son combo they've been, huh?
Inside, Isaiah Stokes has shed some weight. Nearly traveled, but got the bucket.
I thought he shoveled that foot a little bit, but boy, that's a big bruising body, isn't he?
I think he gives Florida their best low-post presence right now with Stone out of the mix.
I agree. Yes. Got great hands like his brother had. He's not an above-the-rim player talking about Stokes, but boy, he gets angles quick. Good footwork. Florida's got a lot of good young pieces to work with going forward and a great class coming in. Nice day, huh, in Tuscaloosa?
Beautiful afternoon for college basketball. Back in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Alabama trailing Florida by 12. Jimmy Dykes, Roy Philpott. Avery Johnson, year number 4, is wired today.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Get your energy up. Get Tevin Mack. Let's go! Let's go! You gotta know the clock! Drive the 5-man! He is a 3-point shooter. Stay up. Make him drive. Hey, come on. Pick it up. Let's go.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, if his team right now matched his energy and his fight, it'd be a tie ball game. Because he's coaching harder than his guys are playing. I'm not calling his guys out, but so far they are, and he's seeing the same thing. They've allowed Jalen Hudson to drive left when he spent a good 3 minutes talking about don't let him drive left. And then you hear him talking about how we're supposed to defend Kayvon Allen. And when you're having guys checking the ball game saying get your energy up, man, that's frustrating as a coach. Why should a coach have to ask someone to play hard and beg you to get your energy up? And those are things in February that coaches deal with.
Well, that was my next question. That's something that all coaches have to be able to understand how to do this time of year because, again, the grind of conference play. You've seen these teams. You know what you have to do, but sometimes your body just doesn't cooperate.
Yeah. Well, you have to do it to teams that don't understand it. Rick Barnes doesn't have to do it to his guys, does he? Well, that's a mature, older team, man, that if they get beat, it's not going to be because they're not out trying to out-effort people. And
right.
That's some of the frustration that when you're 5 and 6 in the league, there's a reason.
Dante Hall says not this afternoon.
Never question his effort, do you? I don't. I love Dante Hall. He gives you everything he got. He empties his tank when he's on the floor, as you should.
Yeah, leads the Southeastern Conference in double-doubles with 10. Here's Tevin Mack attacking. Puts it in, and a chance for 3. Foul will go against Isaiah Stokes. That's going to be his second.
And Stokes was there for a day and a half waiting to take the charge. Gosh, I don't know. He's outside the arc. I thought he had established pretty good position. No, he's stepping in with that left foot. That's a good call. He wasn't quite established. I like the aggressiveness out of Tevin Mack as well. The points in the paint have been all Florida so far. So I'm sure Avery talked about that at his timeout and said, guys, we got to drive the ball, man. We got to get something around the rim, get to the free throw line, generate some offense in other areas.
Great start for Mike White's club on the road. Florida hasn't lost in this building since 2006. And 3 the hard way for Tevin Mack.
Think about that. Florida, the visitors, haven't lost in this building since 2006.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It is. Lead is back to 8. It was 13 moments ago.
Alabama goes zone. It's a 2-3 bump zone, just bumping guys around, trying to stay matched up. Better know where shooters are.
Okaru, 7 on the shot clock. Johnson left open from the wing.
What a pass from Noah Locke. I think Noah Locke left his feet to shoot and got hung up in the air and found Johnson on that high wing again. Watch out.
And nearly a steal. Florida's pressure taking a toll.
I got ran smooth over one night in Bud Walton Arena by Levi Randolph at the announce table. Every time I come to Alabama, I'm a little gunshot. There's the pass and the fine by Noah Locke.
I would say that's never happened to me, but I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm not going to say it.
Levi hit me. I mean, I looked up and it was on. He knocked me completely back. Things were flying.
Gators in a man-to-man, 8 to shoot. Lewis, sweet dish.
That's your playmaker that has to stay on the floor against Florida. They're too good defensively. You have to have a guy that can go make a play instead of run a play. A good find by Dante Hall, who just gets his double-double without ever having a play ran for him. He makes plays off of other guys, Roy.
That's what we've called him on Tuesday nights. Dante double-double Hall.
Yes.
What he does. Stuff in the stat sheet. 5 minutes to go. Nembhard. What a crafty maneuver that was.
He's a pivot magician, Nembhard is. And he'll come to a 2-footed jump stop and continue to keep that pivot foot alive and get an angle on you. A big stride to get that shot off.
Just a freshman, Jimmy, but he leads the team in minutes. He's playing with tendonitis in that left knee.
Yeah.
Not easy.
2 really good freshman point guards on this floor this afternoon. Good hands by Hayes Hunt.
Tide got to hurry. Here's Lewis. Banks it in. He spun that one home.
Yeah, it's not easy to get a gap. It's not easy to get a gap on Florida. Lewis with that big first quick step. Got him one.
Crowd comes to life in Coleman Coliseum. Tide have made their last 4. Hayes rejected. Hall snuck in there. And a late whistle.
Wow. Great recovery speed and length by Dante Hall to make a play from behind. I know he got a lot of ball up top. We see a replay. Take a look at it in the break maybe, but look at Nembhard. The step back and the big step through pivot and the soft finish. Hard shot. Good make. There's the attack, the gap attack by Kira Lewis. You have to stick your nose in there and test Florida's ability to converge on the ball. Well done, 2 in White.
Well, the game coming up later tonight. Everybody's talking about it, Jimmy. The Sonic blockbuster and the first top 5 SEC matchup since '03. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. And we talked about Tennessee, how good they are. I think they're tremendous, Roy, in a few areas. Number one, I think they're the best post-passing team in college ball. All of them can pass it. Multiple guys can post up. So they always, to me, Tennessee, they set the rules of the game around the rim. They break games open by making threes. And there's a talent in the house that just electrified Alabama basketball last year. Colin Sexton, now the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he was the one that hit the shot in the SEC tournament that propelled in Alabama to that NCAA last year. Phenomenal kid, phenomenal talent, right?
Well, a lot of fun getting to know him last season, and to see him be a top 10 pick and have the kind of start to his career that he has, not surprising.
No, not at all. What is surprising is Florida a 14-8 advantage on the boards. For a small, undersized team in this game, it goes back to what I said earlier. So far, Florida has played harder than Alabama.
I want to throw another thing at you on Tennessee. They have the kind of team that can beat you in different ways. So they could win a game against Florida 60-58.
Yep.
They could beat a team like Alabama 80-78. They
Yes.
can go up tempo. They can slow it down.
Yes, I can't think of a better point guard in college ball right now than Jordan Bone. There are some great ones out there. I would take Jordan Bone if you said start a team. Who's your point guard? I'm taking the kid from Tennessee. Because of that reason you just mentioned. He can play any style, any pace that the game requires.
Well, he's got interchangeable parts there, too. Lamonte Turner,
Yes.
Jordan Bowden, those guys come in, and there's no change in production or efficiency as Hall connects.
A really good job by Hall to get to the other side of the rim. He's got quick feet. I think he can make an NBA roster because there's value in guys that play their rear ends off. They rim run all the time. They set ball screens, dive out of it, and he can defend around the rim. I just think he'll find his way on to an NBA team at some point.
Great finisher around the rack, too.
Yes.
8 on the shot clock. Bassett. Okaru. 2 to shoot. And a shot clock violation.
The ball got stuck, didn't it? The ball got stuck on this side of the floor. Never got the other side when it had an opportunity.
Well, don't forget, coming up, rivalry week. Big Monday. Number 4, Virginia. 22nd ranked Virginia Tech. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern. Going to be a lot of fun as the Wahoos look to continue their winning ways. 22-point win at home just last month. Big game for Tech. They've been battling injuries. We'll see if they can get things turned around in the right direction once again. Big Monday will be here before you know it.
I love Virginia. When they lost to Duke last weekend and then went on the road on Monday and won at North Carolina, that was as impressive of a win that I had seen at the time until Duke's come back against Louisville the very next night. I think Tennessee, Virginia, Duke, they're all right there. Those 3 teams are outstanding, and it will be an upset if all 3 of those aren't in the Final Four.
Bassett just picked up his first personal. So Bama in the bonus, Norris off the mark. Here come the Gators. Johnson, skip pass, Nembhard, wide open from downtown.
Florida's a good passing team right now in this game. That's another reason why they're knocking down shots. You don't shoot bad passes, and Florida's not throwing any.
Nembhard with a team high 11. Petty connects.
You know, Kyra Lewis is just knifing through Florida's press right now, and I'm sure Mike White's thinking, do I stay with it? And you're going to stay with it until Lewis actually makes him pay on the back end with a basket, because he's getting through the press.
2 to go in our first half. Entertaining start in T-Town. Nembhard.
Oh.
Lewis, the crossover.
That's a charge. Yeah, he's in the arc. Yeah, it was going to be a charge till he was in the arc. And that speed of Lewis now is becoming a factor in this game. Against the set press or in conversion offense, this kid's got a burst. There's Nembhard. Can't see his heel. Yeah, he's in, on, or above the arc is the rule, and he certainly was.
A lot of contact there. That'll be Nembhard's second. Lewis just makes it look easy. He kind of glides in and out of traffic. He's got different speeds, different gears, if you will. One more coming for the talented freshman. Former Alabama 6A Player of the Year, Kyra Lewis Jr.
Just think about dropping off your 17-year-old son on a college campus and saying good luck. Just doing your laundry, getting to class on time, staying on top of your studies. Oh, and by the way, you're going to have to spend extra time with your head coach because you're the starting point guard in the SEC, which is one of the top 2 leagues in all of college ball this year. And he has handled all that transition beautifully.
Well, we say this a lot, but the league is as deep as it's ever been. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. Yes. And the difference this year, Roy, is there's a couple of teams, legitimate Final Four national champion contenders in Tennessee and Kentucky.
Strong move by Hayes, could not finish. Hall clears. I mean, Tennessee and Kentucky right now are playing the best basketball of any 2 teams in the country, you could argue. along with Duke and Virginia. And,
yes,
you know.
yes. And I think we kind of have dismissed what LSU did in Rupp on Tuesday night. Like, why are we not talking about those guys? Well, they got some dudes now. John Petty, he's really starting to develop into more of a complete player. I like the growth that he's had. There's a huge shot to cut this thing down now with a minute to go.
Tide have made 7 of their last 8. Petty has 8 points. Big possession for the Gators. Okaru connects.
Big basket by Okaru, not a score. Dante Hall backed off just enough to let Okaru measure the rim.
And this 1-2-2 zone pressure really just eats the clock. It slows things down. We've seen it throughout this first half.
Yeah, it's much more effective when Tyra Lewis isn't up top handling it. Feels like a big stop right here if Florida can get one and now get a basket going into the half. That game was 33-26. Karu makes the basket, and now Florida has a chance to get a big basket. It is Florida ball, correct?
Florida basketball, shot clock is off. That's right.
Yeah.
And so a timeout called by Mike White. He'll talk things over with his team. So, it's been an interesting matchup so far between these two, and we have highlighted and talked a lot about the backcourts. We got a couple of freshman point guards here doing a great job in their first campaign. It's been fun to watch.
And Roy, they have different job descriptions. Kyra Lewis is more an explosive scorer that has to score for Alabama. Not that Mike White doesn't need Nembhard to score more, but right now that's not his game. He's more of he's kind of keep the rhythm of the game, that defends his spot really well. Both are terrific building pieces going forward. And Florida has a nationally ranked number 8 recruiting class coming in. Talked with Paul Biancardi and our guys last night at ESPN. In charge of our recruiting rankings with 2 McDonald's All-Americans getting ready to join Florida next year. If Florida can somehow sneak back into the tournament this year, they're set now to get that thing rolling down in Gainesville. About, what, 4 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock?
That's right, yeah. Gators also have a scholarship available, so in essence they could add a grad transfer, bring in another recruit, which we're seeing a lot these days at this level.
Typically this is Kayvon Allen, Noah Locke time. You want to stay attached to Locke and not let him hit a big 3 at the end of the half. Good job by Lewis to caboose him around that screen.
4 to shoot. Johnson had that shot bothered by Hall. Shot clock is off. And the shot well after the buzzer. Well, the Gators impressive on the road in their first 20 minutes. Andrew Nembhard, the talented freshman, the team high 11 points, getting the job done. And Florida trying to get something done it has not done a lot of this year. That's win on the road. The Gators just 2-5 away from Gainesville. Halftime coming up, and the report after these messages. You're watching ESPN Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy, back in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. An incredible halftime show concluding just seconds ago. 35-26. The Gators on the road with the advantage. With Jimmy Dykes, Roy Philpott, great to have you with us. And I'm not sure what we just saw. It was great. But I do know what we saw for Super Tuesday. We had some controversy in the Commonwealth in a couple of games this past week.
Terrific ball handling by the dog, by the way. Well, Tuesday, it went down in the Commonwealth State as the LSU basket is goaltending by rule, but it's a play that cannot be reviewed, and advantage LSU in this situation. Kentucky allowed the ball to be driven all the way to the rim without any resistance. 2 guys were there in purple jerseys to put it back. A tough break for Kentucky. And then it's just about 2 hours later, I was doing the game, Duke at Louisville, and this is the game that determined the outcome of it. And this is a reviewable play. Inside the restricted arc, you see McMahon steps in. His left foot is in, on, or above the restricted area, so the officials then went to the monitor to review that one and change it. So the difference in the 2 plays, the play at Kentucky, the officials went to the monitor, Roy, to see was the shot tipped in time. That's all they could go and check at that point.
Couldn't check for basket interference.
Check for basket interference. On the flip side, the game at Louisville, it came down to we can go review was the player inside or not on the restricted arc. 2 huge calls. Both of them went for the visiting team, by the way. Both Kentucky and Louisville lost that night. So we're now, the conversation is, where do you go from here? Well, I'm in favor of no replay. I'll just say that right now.
Get rid of it.
No replay. It's part of the game. Officials make calls, mistakes. Players make mistakes. Coaches make mistakes. But the ship's already sailed. So I think there will be some conversation this year. What else should we be able to review at the under 2 or the under 1? Maybe it's a goaltending call, because there are 3 or 4 calls that happen so quickly for an official that they need some help. So I'm in favor. If we're going to have replay, let's at least get it right.
Interesting conversation. We'll continue more of that coming up in our second half here in T-Town, USA. The Gators with a 9-point advantage. You're watching the SEC on ESPN inside Coleman Coliseum. Beautiful day for college basketball. March is approaching, and the pressure is mounting for both Florida and Alabama. The bubble watch is on. Gators with a 9-point lead. Timmy Dykes, Roy Philpott, courtside with you. And a look at the first half stats. First 20 minutes, Petty with 8, Nembhard with 11, and Florida was impressive.
Well, they really were, especially defensively, because Alabama has only shot the ball 22 times. So it tells you Florida, they're getting what they want on the defensive end, kind of choking this game down, not giving up any quick shots to Alabama's half court. And Alabama's been, fairly good as well defensively, switching everything. Florida's done a good job of moving the ball side to side, and you only get up 22 shots in a half, Roy. You got to do a lot of things really, really well. And Alabama's got to get the pace up in this game. Starts with their defense, scoring off of it if you can.
Mack penetrating, rejected at the rack, and Hayes comes out of there with it after the block.
Gosh, you go with a set play to start the half. The guy gets all the way to the rim and just gets erased.
Hayes can do that to you.
Yes, he can. Nembhard, how good has he been? 5 out of 5, hasn't missed a shot, hasn't had a turnover. Only played 13 minutes because of 2 fouls, but that might pay off in the second half because you're not wearing the kid down. Nice cut.
Make it 6 for 6, he's got 13.
Yeah, just a lollipop cut and pass over the top. So Mike White gets what he wants on his first possession. Avery Johnson does not. You look up, the lead grows to 11 just like that.
And Tide led by as many as 13 in the first 20. And you can just feel the pace of the game when Florida's doing its thing. It just slows down.
Hard to run dribble handoff or handoff actions around Florida because they really blow those things up.
Lewis from downtown. Maybe that's the spark the Tide needs.
He's got guts, doesn't he? For a freshman, nothing about his game resembles a 17-year-old kid. And we've got spilt popcorn and M&M's on the floor for a stoppage of play.
That's your second M&M reference today.
It is, isn't it?
Well done.
Where'd that come from?
You know if that was Skittles or M&M's?
Nice, just to cut off that high post. Florida, they'll play off of it from time to time. It's okay, big fella. Hey, just put them right back in your mouth. Don't worry about cleaning them off.
5-second rule.
Yeah, those are good ones he's putting under the seat right there. We can't waste Skittles.
Right now, Alabama on the right side of Joe Lunardi's NCAA tournament bubble, listed as a 10 seed. Florida on the outside looking in, which heightens the importance of this one. Johnson inside, and the foul will go against Dazon Ingram. Now, the Tide have been impressive. It was a weird loss to Georgia State. They gave up a 20-point lead. But the rest of the resume, wins over Kentucky, competitive against Tennessee, plus wins against both schools from Mississippi.
Yeah, those are the notable wins are really, really good. And the 8 quadrant 1 and 2 wins is solid. The Lunardi projection, and it's scary how good Joe is at his job. And if you're a 10 seed the middle of February, you know you're one loss away from being out and one win away from maybe moving up to a 9, and you're on thin ice.
How do you handle that as a coach? I mean, I guess you just don't talk about it because it doesn't matter.
You absolutely ignore it. All you're worried about is, have we done all we can to get ready for Florida? When this game's over, you look at that film, you grade it, see where you need to get better, and then get ready for the next one. That's all you can control. Good hard double on Dante Hall.
Lewis wanted the whistle, and it came in late. Foul will go against Hayes. Well, the Gators' resume, big win at Arkansas. You see the quad 1-2 record, 4-10, but not a lot of bad losses on the schedule, so that helps them out, but still on the outside looking in.
Yeah, the notable wins aren't as notable. That's the problem right now, that overall record of 13-11. That kid shoots a good ball, though, doesn't he?
Looks smooth.
It looks like it's going in. Looks like it's supposed to.
If you're just tuning in, the Crimson Tide without a field goal in the first 8 minutes of this game. Florida has been in control.
If Alabama's going to keep switching everything, Florida can run some pop-back action with a screener, get some mismatches and get some drive opportunities.
Locke rejected. How about Mack?
No, that's not his game. That is not Noah Locke's game right now as a freshman. He's struggling from the three, made 1 out of his last 12. Now he's trying to do stuff he's not capable of.
Probably not operating at 100%.
Yep.
Hall's double team quickly.
A double team with great conviction. Wow, what a terrific job by Florida to double team that ball.
Mack left open from the corner.
The purpose of Florida was to move Dante Hall off the block as a scoring threat. So the double team comes and moves him all the way out to the 3-point line. Tremendous.
3 minutes into our second half, Bama on pace for about 50 points today. That style of play favors the Gators. Johnson, the runner.
Good job by Johnson to drive the mismatch, drive the switch. Tyron Lewis was a switch defender, was on the low side of him, Roy, and Johnson just read the shoulder and got the ball to the paint.
We'll see if Florida can keep it up. They've blown some leads this year. Mentioned the injury, Stone. There have been some other bigs that have missed most of the season. So depth at times has been a little bit of an issue. 9 to shoot here. Ingram. And they're going to count the basket. No, they're going to say that's a charge.
Good job to drive the switch. Johnson, a bigger physical kid right now. Tyron Lewis, he was behind the entire play when the switch occurred.
They're going to count that last basket.
They counted that, okay.
Right. So Ingram gets credited with the basket. That'll make it a 10-point game. I thought first I thought he said goaltending, then it looked like an offensive foul. An emphatic count the bucket. Hayes inside, and a chance for 3.
Absolutely in one. What a pass by Hudson to come off for that thing and recognize his buddy Hayes had a mismatch inside. Look at this pass by Hudson. He's going to come off of it right there, a one-handed kind of a high-risk pass with a high reward. Very well done. Florida is really moving Alabama around to start this second half. That pass was terrific. I bumped into Mike White at halftime as he was going to his locker room, and he was pleased with the energy level I knew he would be with Jalen Hudson in this game so far.
We could have done the halftime report. We could have had an interview there with Coach. That'd been great. You're a man of many talents.
I don't know about that. I'm just a guy that had to go to the restroom and run into the head coach. Is that a talent? Some would say.
Lead is back to 13. And you can feel the energy in this arena being sucked out by this Florida defense. Lewis left open. Big shot. Petty corrals it. Smith inside. A good look from Petty and a late whistle. Hayes will pick up the personal.
You know, Roy, Florida is not afraid to switch 1 through 5 himself right now. They're not afraid of being exposed by a guard on a big. The Florida guards are doing a good job of fronting defensively right now. Terrific defensive job so far by Florida.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%.
Avery Johnson coaching his tail off. His team trails by 13, but the Crimson Tide's resume this year has some impressive wins. You look back at some of their victories against ranked foes, including Kentucky. Back on January 5th, there was that one possession loss up at Tennessee where Petty had a chance to maybe tie it or grab the lead at the end. There was a traveling violation, then wins Jimmy against Ole Miss and Mississippi State right here at Coleman Coliseum last month as well.
Yeah, just a little inconsistent in what they've been. And we said at the top of the broadcast, Alabama is 0-6 this year when they score less than 70 points. Well, they're not tracking 70 right now, are they?
They're tracking about 50.
They're tracking about 50. And they're 15-3 when they go 70 or higher. And Florida trying to choke this game down with their defense. And, man, they have done a terrific job of putting Alabama in some long offensive possessions.
Win for the Gators would be huge for their resume. Smith just shooting 50% at the line this year. Has one more. If you're Bama, what do you do to change the feel, the vibe of this game? Because it feels like this is a Florida kind of contest, right?
You have to get it off your defense. You have to do something defensively to get out and get this thing going. It doesn't have to be for the next 15 minutes, but for a good 2-minute stretch, Alabama's got to get this thing going back and forth and get some momentum going.
And Florida shooting 56% from the floor in this one. Bassett inside with position on Petty.
He got hammered.
That one hurt.
So not only is Florida putting Alabama in long possessions on the defensive end, they're putting Alabama in long possessions down here when they have the ball on offense as well. That pass was made when single digits on the shot clock, and Florida just refuses to be sped up in this game.
Bassett just 56% at the line. That foul went against Petty, his first. Gators a very big week on the road tonight. And then at LSU on Wednesday. You and I have been talking about the Tigers and just how good they look off the bus. And now they've got a really impressive resume with that win at UK.
Yeah, they do. That, you know, Tremont Waters is a difference-making guard. Naz Reid is a pro waiting to happen. And Will Wade's got dudes.
Lewis, the response.
There you go. I mean, Alabama needs some quick scores in this game. They're in that spot in the game as well. You take quick shots and they're not good. All of a sudden, this lead just continues to grow with Florida not turning this ball over.
Lewis has 9. Nembhard nearly turned it over.
Yeah, trying to turn up the heat is what Alabama's doing.
Off the fake by Nembhard, the skip pass, the ball rotation. Bassett left open. And just a simple pass, difficult to execute.
How about the passion and the fight by Florida in this ball game? They played harder in the first half, and that was just a pure effort play that time by the Florida Gators. Look at this. Florida really reversed that ball well 4 or 5 times, but at the end of that possession is what kind of sums up this game. Florida just faster and refusing to give up the fight with the basketball.
Gators are playing as the more desperate team so far.
A good word, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, when you're right there on the bubble, you better be desperate.
Bassett, look what he found.
Yeah, good things happen to you when you play hard. Bassett just went on a hard rim run, expecting to be there for an offensive rebound. Ball fell into his lap.
Well, I think that's a factor this time of year, desperation, and which team feels that sense of urgency more, right?
Yes. Look up, Alabama has not, right? They ran no offense, and we're already at 17 on the shot clock.
Norris bottled up. And the low pass, a late whistle by Joe Lindsey. Foul will go against Bassett. That's going to be his third.
Oh, man, that's quite. If you're a head coach, your defense has done a great job of double teaming the ball. Riley Norris throws a pass at a guy's feet, and your defender gets there just a half step late and picks up just an aggressive hustle foul.
Check that, Bassett's second. He'll still go to the bench. Lewis. Bailout call. He'll shoot a pair.
You know, you hate to put it on a freshman, but you ask me, how does Alabama get back in this game? He's going to have to make some plays now. You know, he's got the ability to get inside the teeth of that Florida defense. Try to continue to get Florida quicker to the. Try to get Alabama quicker to the bonus right now in this game. Be a huge help for them.
We've heard a lot of that noise tonight for the Crimson Tide. 14-point advantage ties the largest lead of the afternoon. A couple of costly misses.
Thunk. You don't like to hear that thunk. You're the home crowd.
And right now, Alabama just 4 of 12 from the stripe. That's been costly. Stokes. Hudson. Cans another 3.
How about Stokes, though? His ability to be a big post presence down there. Demand a little bit of the help off, and Hudson did a good job of sliding to the opening. I felt it early in the game. You did too. Jalen Hudson came in today with a lot of confidence. Mike White trusted what he's seen the last 4 days in practice, back-to-back double-figure games. Hudson has been huge. Look at Stokes. Riley Norris just takes a little bit of a gamble down. Hudson says, thank you very much.
Well, the head coach for the Crimson Tide, Avery Johnson, claimed the 1999 NBA championship, hit the game winner against the Knicks on the road. The little general getting the job done in T-Town. And Jimmy played for 6 different teams in the association, had the jersey, retired back in '04. He's done such a remarkable job, both as a player. He was the 2006 Coach of the Year of the NBA as well for the Dallas Mavericks. And tonight, here in Tuscaloosa, he is wired for us, trying to get his team back in the mix.
There are no 20-point plays. One possession at a time. Keep your mind right. Remember I told you that yesterday. It's for a reason. Keep your mind right. Keep the right mindset, all right? Here we go.
Well, he's right about no 20-point plays. Boy, Avery played every game of his career like it was his last one. Alabama is fighting right now in the second half. I like their fight level. He's having a hard time keeping Florida from scoring. We knew Florida defensively, they're a top 10 team in the country. Their offensive efficiency has not been that this year. But so far in this game, 57%. About as well as Florida's played offensively maybe all year long.
Yeah, one of the worst offensive teams in the SEC. The best defense in the conference, however. Stokes inside was fouled. That'll go against Smith.
I like Stokes. Going forward, you know, he's not a finished product at all right now, but Mike White's got a load down low with really soft hands. Doesn't have great lift, but he can really post up. And you look at Mike White, the 4 years that he's been there, his adjusted defensive rank has been 14th, 5th, 24th, and 10th. His adjusted offensive rank, though, has been different. And the same thing this year right now. They're number 122 in adjusted offense. But those numbers right there, that's not only this year, but all 4 years he's been the head Gator. His teams have really gotten after you defensively.
And that was his trademark at Louisiana Tech. He's brought that to Gainesville. Stokes has shed about 50 pounds since he first stepped foot on campus 2 summers ago, and he's really starting to play some better basketball.
Yeah, good young talent Mike has. And again, that top 10 recruiting class coming in next year.
As Stokes, member of the ESPN 100. You were talking about Paulie Buckets, Paul Biancardi moments ago. Inside the basket by Herbert Jones, who appears to be okay after taking a shot in the eye in the first half.
He is a go-to-the-rim scorer, Herb Jones is. And Alabama get that 4-6-0 run and put game pressure on Florida right now.
Big possession here. Stokes back to work against Smith. The pump fake. The spin. And it's been that kind of afternoon for Alabama.
The ball is right there for the having. Keep your head up, Coach. Plenty of time left.
Top team in the land invades Big Blue Nation.
Hold up, let me get up in it
Tennessee
now.
aims to deliver a statement, but number 5 Kentucky looks to defend rough. It's a top 5 showdown. Tennessee, Kentucky, tonight at 8 on ESPN.
UFC Fight Night is back tomorrow with former heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez taking on Francis Ngannou. All gets underway at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific in the main event on ESPN and also ESPN Deportes. Don't forget as well, ESPN Plus gets it started at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. The rest of the prelims on ESPN and ESPN Deportes starting at 7 Eastern. It's going to be a great one. That's tomorrow.
How big are the missed free throws by Alabama in this game?
It's
4
huge.
out of 12.
Yeah.
Yes. He's lost a lot of points. Unguarded shots.
Stokes out of the timeout. Missed the chippy. And Dante Hall says, no, sir.
No, yeah.
Crimson Tide hanging around. Need to go on a run. Lewis will try to spark it, and he does.
Well, that's the guy that can go on a 6-8-0 run all by himself. And the building just changed on that shot.
Lewis has 12.
cut by Hudson. Just couldn't handle the pass. It's a good cut, though.
Here comes Petty. Inside to Hall. The spin and the finish.
Mike White has 3 timeouts. He may bring it over and call it because I think he feels it right now. The momentum has shifted. There you go. That's a good timeout.
Well, Jimmy, the Crimson Tide have made their last 5 shots, and that 3 ball by Lewis just seconds ago seems to have changed mojo.
Well, a good drive with just get a little piece of the paint, force Florida to react to it. Nembhard chases Lewis off the 3-point line. Lewis just rises up off the chase. And a good dive by Dante Hall, just dove out of a ball screen, and Stokes has fouled in this game, and maybe should have given one right there and put him on the free throw line instead. The game changed, though. The building changed with the Kira Lewis 3-point shot in the corner.
No doubt, you could feel it. 7-0 run for the Tide. Made 5 shots in a row. It seems like Mike White has gone down to Stokes the last couple of possessions, right?
Yes, he sure has.
So we'll see if that trend continues, and Stokes is now on the Florida bench, so it will not. Devarius Hayes checks back in. Welcome back, Tide fans. Jones will shoot 2.
Alabama is really fast now off of a transition in their conversion offense. Good job by Avery Jr. to come in and blow up what was going to be an automatic 2, and then Herb Jones just takes it with great authority. Boy, he has struggled, hasn't he? You feel bad for him going to the free throw line. Herb Jones does everything so well, and 49% from the stripe this year.
The free throws have been a killer for Alabama. 1 of 2 at the line. Lead is 8.
Mike White getting a play call now every time down. Don't want to lose your aggressiveness, but he knows exactly what he wants on every possession, I'm sure. That's not what he wanted.
Gators turn it over halfway through our second half, and Alabama trying to really get back in it now.
Petty and Kira Lewis are the guys that can knock down big momentum threes. Dante Hall can always be Dante Hall around the rim.
Against the zone. And Jalen Hudson trying to adjust his contact, it looks like. And they'll stop play for a moment to allow him to do just that.
Well, he needs them both because he's seeing the rim pretty well right now. Make sure you get that thing adjusted correctly.
Well, what a story it would be if Hudson's able to continue this comeback and get Florida into the tournament.
Absolutely, it would speak to his character and not giving up and sitting on the end of the bench and sulking and being a bad guy in the program. That's exactly what it would do. And he's not any of those things.
Foul against Dante Hall, the block.
It's his first personal foul. We get those bigs jumping out like that, the hard hedge of ball screen, attack that hip. And Kayvon Allen, a senior guard, saw Dante Hall jump out. He just went right at the outside hip of Dante Hall to get the call.
Well, you feel like Florida could get momentum back in its favor with one big shot here. Alabama just on the verge. Eight to shoot. Nembhard against Lewis. Now the senior Allen. And look at the fight by Keontae Johnson.
Get it out of there. There you go. Now reset it. Boy, 3 white jerseys and 1 blue jersey. Am I wrong? But Florida seems like they've gotten every 50-50 ball in this game, have they not?
Absolutely they have. Gators have been the aggressor.
I Isolated Nembhard now in the last couple of possessions. Oh, that's blew in a crowd. That was iffy.
Back to Alabama. Well, it seemed like Florida had the ball for about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. (1-3-1) by Florida, and a lot of times they'll go man. Watch out. A lot of times they'll go man out of their zone.
Both of these teams on the proverbial bubble. Nembhard inside. That's
huge. Is he good? Is he a good freshman point guard at 6'5"? Doesn't shoot it great. Doesn't always have a burst, but he's learning to take the ball where he wants to take it. That little crossover, fake crossover, got Petty completely off balance. A huge basket by Nembhard to put them up 10 and possibly 11.
He's got 15 points.
Man, on the road, boy, that's how I judge how good you really are as a point guard.
But he's perfect.
What do you do on the road? You know, and this kid has said, okay, I hear you over there. I've been perfect so far in this game.
He's been perfect. 7 for 7.
I think he has a turnover either, does he? He did in the last TV timeout. Maybe now he's up to 2. You'll take that, though.
Yes. Big basket by the freshman. Lead is back to 11. Make it 9.
That's a mistake. You get him a 1-3-1. Be the guy completely wide open, exposed in the lane. Mike White won't like that possession when he watches it on film.
8 to play. Hudson left open.
Didn't look good when it left his hand. Another 50-50 ball by Florida.
Keontae Johnson, a brilliant save.
And their effort and their try level today, talking about the Florida Gators. They may not win the game, but they have won the try level part of it so far.
He's stuffing the stat sheet. Nearly a turnover.
The walk. Well, Hudson shuffled his feet when he picked the ball up.
Outside Hudson. Here come the Tide. We know Petty wants it.
They'll stay up on Lewis. If you're going to switch out high.
Jones corrals it.
Watch out. I've had Alabama player before come on top of me. Everybody okay?
Avery Johnson Jr., a dangerous fall. He appears to be okay.
Wow.
A lot happening.
A lot happening. We've got Cokes being spilt. We've got pins being ruined. Monitors are soaked. Ball game, though.
Inside the play, and a lot happening just seconds ago.
Well, there is. What could have been a very dangerous play. Hold it right. We get over here. Avery Johnson go, hold up. There's you and I. Now watch the one guy that gets up to check on others, and one guy makes sure that he's okay. Hey, I was on top of it. I'm pretty sure we were in the restricted arc. We were inside the restricted arc, and it's still in Alabama's possession.
That was.
Would have been.
Hey, that's exactly why I didn't say in the first half. That's never happened to me, because as soon as you say it, it does.
About 8 years ago, Levi Randolph, who's in the building, he ran smooth over me in Bud Walton Arena last night, knocked me all the way back. Things were flying. People were checking on me, and I've been Levi Randolph leery ever since.
He was in the building.
Yeah,
he was here.
Right now. He's over looking at me like, I got some more for it if you want it, Coach.
Oh, my gosh. Nembhard's been perfect. Bounce pass to Hayes.
The ones you want to make. Varius Hayes does. He just plays his tail off, but those and ones you'd like to have out of him. There's my guy, Levi Randolph. Then I came here about, I think, a week later in Alabama. They had all the catcher's mask and the catcher's gear and stuff for me to put on during the game, and a no Levi crossing zone for me.
Oh, you love that. One more coming for Hayes. By the way, that was the 4th on Dazon Ingram. This has been a fun game. Florida's been in control, and it feels like Alabama still has a chance, but still in search of a couple of stops.
Yeah, one of the best games you and I have ever done together.
The best. No doubt. No doubt. I love somebody that operates on my level of sophomore humor. That's good.
This is number one. I don't know if there'll be a number two. Right. If they'll trust you and I together again for a number two. Boy, so active, aren't they, Florida? Just aggressive to the ball. And alert to the scheme of who we're doubling and how we're doubling it. Causing chaos in that possession. That was really well done defensively.
Nembhard.
That is so good, right? I know I keep talking about it, but for your team to play that hard, to be that dialed in, who are we doubling, what are we doing, where are we forcing guys? Very impressive.
It reminds you a little bit of Virginia and their pack line defense and all the double teams you feel around the rim a lot.
Yes, good call. Just chaos right now is what Florida's doing to Alabama. We don't want to give up one here on baseline out of bounds under. Your set defense has been so good in this game.
Jones will trigger to Hall. Under 6 to play. Tide trail it by 12.
And to defend this well without fouling, Florida still only 5 team fouls.
Lewis Jr.
Nope.
And a foul on the floor. Joe Lindsey, the whistle from outside the arc. It'll go against the Gators. Noah Locke picks up his first. Well, the importance of this game, you can't talk about it enough. Right now, Alabama listed as a 10 seed, according to Joe Lunardi. Florida among the first 4 teams out of the field of 68, and a chance to pick up a quad 1 victory here in Tuscaloosa. That just means a ton.
Absolutely it does. I mean, these two teams may be compared head to head on Selection Sunday in that room. Great job of staying in front of the ball with his hips, Kayvon Allen.
And Hall travel.
Well, you look up, it's a 12-point game, 5:30 to go. Florida's not turning the ball over. The length of Alabama defensively hasn't bothered them. If you're Florida right now, can you just continue to get this thing down where you can almost count the number of possessions left in the game? You see the Florida game, their remaining schedule. The bigger issue is, are they going to finish off this game right now by not turning it over?
Yeah.
And making Alabama work defensively the entire shot clock.
Just over 5 to play. Gators will be at LSU next. Johnson, offensive foul.
That's the next progression for Johnson, because he's an explosive athlete. But he's got to get to that logo now and stop and pop or have a little more of a runner. That's just a run over the guy, so they run her. The difference.
5 to play. Hall down low. Emphatic dunk.
Really good rollout of a ball screen by Dante Hall.
And a foul on the inbounds. Lewis.
Dante Hall's got a great set of paws. That was not a good pass. He went up and kind of tipped it back to himself, but he really sprints out of ball screens. And that's why I think he'll get a lot of looks if he's not drafted to get an invite to somebody's camp, because he does a lot of things that league values in terms of big that can really run and move and plays with energy and plays hard. All those things are important.
Gators now in the 1-1 after the foul by Lewis. One more coming for Kayvon Allen.
Don't want to foul this dude, do you?
One of the best in the conference. Second in the league right now in free throw percentage. And one more coming. Florida 10 of 13 at the line. Bama just 5 of 14, make it 11 of 14 now.
If Mike White can defend with this unit and get rebounds, he's got his best ball handlers on the floor. Basically has 4 guards on the floor and 1 big. But can they rebound and miss? And that's why you put him in there. Disruptive team defensively.
Allen coast to coast. Yes. 62 to 48. Florida on the road, getting it done, and Avery Johnson has seen it up. .426 to go here in Tuscaloosa. Tide trail by 14 here at home.
Hey, they've gotten a couple of rebounds on us. A couple of long rebounds. No lead. leaking out. That was a great job. That was a great job on your box against the 1-3-1. All right? Here we go. Let's go.
Well, the Crimson Tide at home, trailing Florida by 14 back in T-Town. Jimmy Dykes, Roy Philpott. And I'll throw this at you as well. Alabama coming off a loss at Mississippi State, never led in that game. They have not led so far in this one. It's not cause for concern because the league is tough, but still, you want to be trending in a different direction right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely you do. And offensively, they just are really struggling against this Florida defense today. And I don't think we'll see any more of that Florida 1-3-1. You heard Avery during the wired section saying great job against, they ran box out of it, got a layup, and Mike White saw it. I think he trusts either his 2-3 zone or his man-to-man remaining 4:24 this game.
Back in the zone again for the Gators.
Now they'll show zone and then go man-to-man on the pass back. I think Florida's now in man-to-man. There they go.
Switch was made. Petty in and out. And Nembhard controls. You wonder if we're seeing Jalen Hudson figure things out. We're wondering if we're seeing Florida now, if it holds on here in a 2-game winning streak, start to evolve in a season where they have struggled often.
This is as well as I've seen Florida play all season. They're on the road against a really long athletic club. They played with desperation. They played calm. When the game has gotten chaotic, they have stayed calm amongst the storm. Huge shot by Nembhard.
He's got 21. He's 9 for 9 from the floor. What a performance for the freshman. Mack bottled up, draws the contact.
Where Alabama they have not made Florida pay for switching 1 through 5. They can't get the ball inside, and Florida's guards, I'm talking about all of them, Allen and Locke and Okaru, and he's in there, Nembhard, they've all had to play post defense today, and they have fought their tails off, done a good job.
One more coming for Mack. Free throws have been an issue today. Hustle has been an issue today for Alabama. Florida has been the aggressor from the opening tap. And speaks to the depth of this league as well. Florida sitting there 5-6, trying to even its conference record. Anybody on any given night can take care of business.
Gosh, I would think out of those teams that came in today, first 4 out like Florida was, huge opportunity for Florida to maybe move in when this day is all said and done.
So the Gators would improve to 5-10 versus quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 teams this year. 2 to shoot. Allen, strong finish.
Well, I think we're saying again, Florida has not lost here since 2006. Think about that. That is crazy how well they've come in here and played in Tuscaloosa the last 12 years.
Avery Johnson Jr. draws a foul. Allen, the senior, has never lost in this arena.
Mike White's got 4 guards on the floor to make sure we're not going to turn this thing over. Let Alabama get out in transition on us. So now they can play isolation and drive any type of advantage they think they have. Kayvon Allen he's breathing hard as well he should. He has played his tail off today. The entire Florida Gator team has.
Think about this as well. This will be the 8th straight win for Florida in this building. Alabama came into this game averaging almost 81 points per game in home SEC games. And right now, stuck on 50.
Alabama's going to go to 0-7 this year when they score less than 70 points.
There's a lot of numbers thrown at you, but the score really tells the story.
There's been nothing cool about Florida in this ball game. Not one player. They have all fought and stayed together and connected. They've been strong with the ball. They've had 10 or fewer turnovers. That's how you win games on the road. They established things by driving the thing inside. They've made shots, and they have guarded their butts off now for a good 38 minutes.
High ball screen for Allen, who launches from downtown. Back iron. Give me one more thought on Tennessee, Kentucky tonight and what you're looking for in that game.
Yeah, I think the point guard matchup, Roy, is huge. I love Ashton Hagans, but right now defensively is where he really shines. He's going to have his hands full now tonight with Jordan Bone. And Jordan Bone can really guard as well. And so the point guard spot is critical. And then who owns that left block offensively? Because Tennessee is so good with Grant Williams and even Schofield at times posting up on the left block. And we know Kentucky with PJ and Reed Travis on the left block as well. So, you know, I would expect Kentucky to come out and really just be smoking early after losing at LSU Tuesday. But once the game settles down, you know, after the first 5 or 6 minutes, we'll know. Keep an eye on Tennessee. Can they establish the two-point part of the floor early in the game? If they do, they're probably going to win.
Game will tip off at 8 o'clock. The Sonic Blockbuster over on ESPN. What a scene it will be in Rupp. As Johnson falls out of bounds. Well, 3 of the top 5 teams in the country on ESPN headed your way the rest of the afternoon into the evening. Duke and NC State will get it started. That's at 6 o'clock Eastern. The #1 Tennessee on a 19-game winning streak at Rupp Arena to take on 5th-ranked Kentucky in the Sonic Blockbuster. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch them anywhere you may be. Grant Williams, P.J. Washington. You know, Coach Cal said this week, P.J. is the best player in the country. Grant Williams got something to say about it, right? Right?
Well, every coach should feel that way about their guy, but I don't know. I saw Zion Williamson Tuesday night, and that dude's pretty good. But P.J.'s been playing like a dominant college player that he's capable of being. And Calipari challenged him. I was there today in practice when he said, you will be a good college player or a dominant college player. Because if you become a dominant college player, we can reach our goals. If you don't, we can't. And PJ has answered that call.
That's powerful.
That is powerful. Like the power I'm going to have driving a black Ram truck to the Birmingham airport when this game's over.
Cue the escort. Jimmy needs to get his flight.
If you see a black Ram truck with its flashers on between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, that's Jimmy D trying to get to Jimmy's jet.
That you know about the little road stoppage they've got downtown Beeham.
Road stoppage is for people that don't have courage. I'm going right through that thing. I got the shortest route possible to the airport. I don't have time for road stoppages.
I mean, this guy's going to Birmingham, out of Birmingham Shuttlesworth Airport. He's planning on flying out of there in like an hour and a half.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yes. Hey, I'm going to text you and I'll tweet the world and let them know that I made. I feel good about my plan right now.
Wow.
I'm going to stay till the end of the game. But I feel good about my plan right now. My truck is pointed at the exit. I got a policeman down there waving me left, and I'm going to take a right, and I feel good about it.
You're ahead of the game then. That's all I need to hear.
I don't even have to. I don't break the speed limit. I'm not going to have to today either.
But you got to get home in time to be able to watch UT-UK tonight.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yes. And then hopefully celebrate our daughter's gymnastics meet today. We always celebrate, you know, with your kid, but we're not a family that passes out participation ribbons. I can tell you that.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't.
Lawson Schaefer checking in for Bama.
Hey, I'm going to salute Florida one more time to come in here and play like they played, man. Mike White's team, if they continue to find a way to score points, they're not only going to be an NCAA tournament team, they could win a game because defensively, they are right there with the best of them. They came in today one of the top 10 defenses in all of college ball.
Standout performance for the freshman, Andrew Nembhard. 9 for 9 from the floor, perfect at the line, 21 points. As Florida's going to come into Tuscaloosa.
There's no reason to foul now. I mean, this thing's over.
Wire to wire, Gators.
You mind if I stand up and stretch my hamstrings so I don't pull a muscle? Sprinting to the truck.
1 foot out the door.
No,
Coach.
I'm still here with you, man. I would never leave you.
Oh, that's good.
Come on, Lawson. I like this kid. Okay, buddy.
And that'll just about do it. Shot clock is off. Gators can milk the remaining portion of the clock here. And they will. A big-time win on the road in league play for head coach Mike White. Andrew Nembhard getting it done with those 21 points and a perfect performance from the floor. 71-53 the final score. Coach, I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun, my friend.
Yeah. And the energy of Jalen Hudson early, I think, really triggered Florida back in the first half, his first 3 or 4 minutes, he brought a lot of juice to the Florida Gators, and I'm sure Mike will be pleased with how his kids played today. He should be. That was a terrific defensive job by Florida.
So 2 wins in a row now for the Gators, 14-11, 5-6 in the SEC. The Tide will have dropped their last 2, a road loss at Mississippi State and then here at home against the Gators. And Avery Johnson's now got to go back to the drawing board.
He does. They got to find their offense. You know, they're now 0-7 when they don't score 70 points. So they were not going to get to 70 today. Not the way Florida was defended. Mike White told us about an hour and a half before tip, if we get our defense set, he said it 2 or 3 times. I think he knew. If we get our defense set, we're going to be in a great position to win this game. They got their defense set by not turning it over, by making the ball go through the net. And Florida all of a sudden goes from the first 4 out to that next bracket might say they're one of the last 4 in. Congratulations to the Gators today. What a performance by this kid, huh?
And career high 21. He was perfect from the floor and the stripe as Florida finds a way to get it done. And all smiles between the head coach and the star, Andrew Nembhard. So Florida on the road to LSU coming up on Wednesday. That's going to be no easy task, but another golden opportunity for Mike White.
Oh, sure it is. And they could go in there and win the game. You know, LSU, they're a team that can be a little inconsistent as well. I don't know how they've done so far at Georgia today, but here's why Florida is in every ball game. They're going to defend their tails off. They got multiple defenses, and Mike White kind of goes with the gut. Which defense is working best for us today? It was their man-to-man.
No question about that. Alabama back to the drawing board, as we indicated, for Avery Johnson. They've lost their last 2. The defense has been there at times. The offense points have been at a premium, and they'll have to find a way to get the job done moving forward. 71-53, the final score, as the fans file out here at Coleman Coliseum. Big performance for the Gators on the road, a quad 1 victory in the 144th all-time meeting between these 2 SEC rivals. Don't forget, coming up next, college softball, Oregon and Kentucky. Yes, indeed, it is that time of year. Too much Andrew Nembhard and too much of that Florida defense here today in Tuscaloosa. Final score once again, 71-53. The Gators on the road, getting it done for head coach Mike White.